What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
Shana Mostella.
Guess what today is?
It's our anniversary.
At the time of filming, 1 year ago, the very first episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast aired on YouTube. So in celebration, we gonna pop some bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Observe and direct your attention over here. Bam! We got the gold and the platinum.
Yes.
And if you can look closely and see the owl's eyes, that's how we trying to be by the end of the podcast. We're about to finish these bottles by the time we finish recording. So let's start with the platinum bottle.
Okay. This is...
I don't even know what kind of champagne this is, to be honest.
I mean, it says AG47, sparkling wine, Liangento, something from Italy. I don't know.
Sure.
Let's just open it.
Sure. I just saw the gold and I saw the platinum. I'm like, perfect. Those are nice anniversary-looking colors, I guess.
Something about gold and silver screams celebratory.
No, platinum, all right? Platinum.
Sorry. My
Okay,
bad.
the Shinobi Squad Podcast is gold and better. We ain't doing no sterling silver, so I'm sorry if your boo got you a sterling silver necklace for Valentine's Day last week. We don't do that here. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm sure it was a very nice sterling silver necklace, but I would never wear one. Have my neck turn all green and shit.
Sterling is...
I know. Sterling silver is real silver. I know.
It's not going to turn your neck green.
I know. It's just growing up in an Asian family. Anything that's not yellow gold, they talk shit. I've had friends who got engaged and got platinum jewelry, like platinum rings with diamonds, and their parents would be like, "Oh, your husband doesn't love you. He bought you silver." That's platinum. That's like white gold.
I'm scared, y'all. Oh, God.
Don't point it towards the monitors.
Well, I didn't want to point it towards my face.
Point it towards that way. You can point it towards the podcast or point it towards the brand new monitors that, come on.
My bad. I don't champagne often, okay? Fuck. I hate the pop. I think I've messed it up already.
I'm scared to open champagne.
And he makes me do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Shana.
Oh! Every time. You gotta open the other one. That's too much anxiety. Here, you pour.
Yeah.
He's the poor guy.
Shana likes to pour and get everything all fizzy.
It's bubbly.
Don't let Shana ever pour you a beer
Hey,
or a
no,
soda
that's not right.
because you'll have nothing but foam
What?
and head.
Since when?
And it's the one time you don't want head from Shana.
What the hell?
When she's pouring alcohol.
What the hell?
Because that's going to be messy head, but not in a good way.
What
Wink, wink.
the hell? This is a family show.
Not anymore. We on season 2, bitch. We getting ratchet. We got champagne in the background. We got exotic animals.
All right, without further ado, happy anniversary, Shinobi Squad.
And happy anniversary to all of y'all who've been rocking with us since day one.
Yes.
So if you need to pause and go get a drink, I don't care if it's apple juice, just get a straw and blow some bubbles in it real quick and pretend it's champagne.
This is good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got a nice, pleasant, crisp and taste and flavor. Oh, my goodness.
And for you alcoholics out there that notice that we're drinking out of a wine glass, y'all need some AA first. Just kidding. We don't have champagne glasses in the house. I was surprised we even have these things. So at least we drinking out of some kind of fancy glass. Or if it wasn't this, it was about to be some party cups. And
Red cups.
how are you going to celebrate an anniversary with some red party cups like you about to play beer pong?
Like we college students. This is very tasty. I don't know anything about champagne, so
I don't either.
just look out for the gold and silver bottles. That's all I can say.
It tastes good, so it's good enough for me.
Something from Italy. I don't know.
No, God, I'm about to put on a tuxedo after this. I'm about to go do some James Bond shit because I'm feeling fancy.
I know I should have dressed better.
Yeah, we didn't plan this out too good. We didn't get outfits arranged, but we did get the alcohol.
Oh,
Priorities.
Yeah. Priorities.
Oh, but speaking of getting dressed, notice you got a very special collar on.
Yes, I do.
You want to give a quick shout out of what you wearing?
Let me show off this beautiful choker. This choker is by Colors of Cosplay. The creator is named Tyler, and she makes these beautiful chokers. She makes all kinds of cosplay accessories. She's an amazing creator. This is a Black-owned company on top of that. She's a sweet person, and please, please, please give her a follow on Instagram and Facebook. We'll link those below. She is incredible, and you would be definitely helping her out by giving her a follow. You would be making me happy. Just go do it. She's a dope artist. Check her out.
This is not sponsored at all, because y'all know we don't be plugging products on this podcast. I don't think we have yet, really.
No, not really.
Not really.
Except for ourselves.
yeah, we plugged ourselves, but we have never endorsed an outside product. These chokers are really dope. Her accessories are dope, so definitely go check out Colors of Cosplay.
Yes.
Toast to that.
Yes, toast to Colors of Cosplay. Love you, Tyler.
Support your fellow cosplay creators. All right, back to the anniversary. Ugh. I have bubbles in my throat. All right, back to the anniversary talk. I figured for this episode, we'll just talk about different anniversaries in general. Some that mean something to us, some that mean something to everyone else. We'll just have an anniversary episode about anniversaries. Creative, huh? As I said at the start, at the time of filming this podcast, this is the 1-year anniversary of us debuting this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode was called Cosplay Photographer Exposed or something like that. It was about a particular photographer in the cosplay community that was outed for some pedophile shit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a quick follow-up about that. In case y'all forgot, dude went by the name of Ryzen Zai. I forgot what his government name was, but I think it was Nathaniel something. Filipino dude, pretty much. He was having relations with an underage girl, the freshman in high school. Anyways, she uploaded a whole Google Drive of text messages and conversations that they exchanged back and forth. Some pretty incriminating stuff. So let's have a follow-up about that real quick. She did ended up taking the case to the authorities since it happened across 2 different states, the state of Illinois and Michigan. She pressed charges in both states. Unfortunately, due to the statute of limitations law in both states, they couldn't pursue the case. She waited too long, so there was nothing they could do. They couldn't press criminal charges on this guy, which is a bunch of bullshit, because shortly after that, thanks to the R. Kelly trial and the Netflix documentary, they changed the rules. And I guess statute of limitations didn't apply to R. Kelly, so they could press criminal charges against him. But for some reason, they couldn't press criminal charges against this Ryzen person. The victim never got the justice that she deserved.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, she outed this guy, and he has disappeared from the cosplay community.
Mm-hmm.
There was rumors of him showing his face back up. That's why we made the video last year, because there was rumors he was going to show back up at KatsuCon. Nobody saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Just one last note about that. Dude is still out there on the loose.
Mm-hmm.
He's still trying to do photography. He's going under different monikers now. He's trying to cover up his face as much as he can. So he's got this whole like ninja identity going on. There's a photographer out there that happens to look Asian from his eyes only, I guess.
And from what I saw of that, it's kind of like putting on a fake mustache real quick. I'm like, so you just put sunglasses on and maybe like, well, now people have to wear masks, like face masks. So, that kind of saved him. But just when he was first coming out with a different look or whatever, it was basically just sunglasses. I'm like, I know it's you. I see you. I can see you.
Yeah, that was his cheap disguise. Pretty much a fake mustache.
Like, seriously, you might as well just put on a bandana around your mouth. It's like, I can still see your eyes, too.
Yeah. There's still people keeping tabs on him. So as things pop up about him, the cosplay community is informed. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
So far, he hasn't shown up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's just been talks because he still has mutual friends with people who still pretend to be his friend just to snitch on him. So there's that.
Yeah.
So moving on, it's also the anniversary of KatsuCon. At the time of filming, KatsuCon's supposed to happen this weekend.
Oh, rip.
And it's the first time in 27 years that they were not able to have a con. Oh,
And you missed
Rip.
last year.
I missed last year too. Speaking of last year, for some people, it's also the anniversary of the very last con they went to
Oh, yeah.
before the pandemic. I didn't have a great time at the previous KatsuCon, so I skipped Katsu 2020. Just for some clarity on that, it wasn't due to any fault of the con. I just kind of overscheduled myself and I got burnt out really quick. I was trying to do paid photography shoots, videography, and I was trying to cosplay at the same time, and I was just overwhelmed. And it was one of those things where I did too much and I paid the price. I even started off my KatsuCon cutting my hand. I had some glass bottles in my suitcase that I did not wrap up very well, and they broke, and I stuck my hand in there and I cut my fingers up right at the airport. So I started off my trip. As soon as I landed, my fingers were cut up and I was bleeding.
Oh, wow.
So I decided not to go last year, and I regretted it so bad. I was living off my BFF's stories and Snapchats all through the weekend. Neko's not the one to get super lit at cons, but oh my gosh, she got litty at KatsuCon, and I was so jealous, and I was so mad I wasn't there to see my BFF get so turned. I wanted to be there for that moment, and every time she posted something, she was hype. I was like, I could be there,
Oh, my
but
gosh.
I wasn't. Just the words. This was my last con. Just hurt. It hit a little different.
This coming from an introvert, I don't like going outside. I don't like being in public for very long. It's hitting me so hard right now. I can't stand it. Like, I'm going crazy. I will do anything to go outside. I will go to the grocery store twice a day if I have to, just to be where the people are, you know? And I don't even like doing that kind of thing. So you know it's bad. You know it. I'm very secluded. But now it's just something that's like burning inside of my chest. Like, I just need to go and do something.
We've both been very good about this pandemic. We've been very serious about it. We used to buy groceries every 2.5 weeks, make it last, wait till every last morsel of food is gone in the fridge before we step out. But now that the 1 year's creeping up, like, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm losing it too. It's like, I've been trying to stay strong for the homies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hitting so hard because that's another anniversary that's about to creep up, the 1 year anniversary of the pandemic. It was about this same time last year where all the news from China was breaking out and they were on lockdown, and Europe was getting locked down, and then America didn't get locked down till like mid-March.
Yeah.
Us being in California, we were one of the first states that got completely shut down.
Oh, yeah. It's so sad that the most interaction I've had with somebody was when people like the color of my hair when I go to the store. They're like, oh, hey, I love the color of your hair. I love it so much. I'm like, I just want to sit there and talk to that person. Like,
You're like, really?
What else do you like?
You want to have dinner?
It's so bad, and I'm not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I didn't really realize how much the pandemic was hitting until we moved back to the Midwest. And it's those conversations.
Yeah.
At the grocery store, buying champagne, for example. They're looking at our IDs. Oh, California?
We just start talking
Yeah.
about it.
Just having a full-blown 20-minute conversation, keeping the line 20 people long just because we won't shut up, just because we're so excited to talk to somebody.
And you know
Somebody that's-
me. I'm
yeah.
not like that. It's just so sad.
Yeah, I hate grocery store checkout conversations.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand the cashier, he or she is there all day. They're bored and they just want to talk. But sometimes I'm just trying to get my chips and my champagne and keep it moving.
Yeah.
The last few times we've been at the store and people have talked to us, I'm just like, So, what kind of cheese do you like? And then I look back and there's people all pissed off, like, hurry up. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to know what kind of cheese she likes.
Right? This is important information.
Maybe you should have gotten in line before me.
Right.
All right. So this is my ride.
Get your own conversation, all right? We're having a conversation right now.
No, find your own friend. This is my friend. We're from California.
We're special.
We're special. I know. Like, I've been pumping gas having gas station conversations with random people. Oh, California, huh? You're a long way from home. Oh, yeah, I am. But I'm originally from the Midwest. Oh, really? What part you from? And
Just because the whole thing.
I'm just learning about this dude's family and how his great granddad settled here back in the day. And
This is a rare occasion where I actually do want to see pictures of people's kids.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, show me. Show me. I don't care that it's snowing and I'm freezing. I don't even own a real coat, but okay.
I got time.
I know.
Who am I?
Inviting them into my car. Like, hey, I got the heat on. Come on. Let me buy you a hot chocolate from Speedway.
But it's like that, though. It's like that right now, and I can't stand it. But also, it's like I need to do something because I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And it's not enough to talk to someone over the internet either. It's like, I want to see your face.
I know. All right, before we talk about the pandemic too much, I know everyone else is already going through their own pandemic stuff, so let's just move on with that. But it is a part of the anniversaries of things that's happening. So moving on to the next one. For a lot of people, it's also the anniversary of the last time you had a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely been a total life changer. For some, good. For some, bad. I don't want to talk about the bad. We already know enough about it. We've seen the stats and how many people are unemployed. But for some people, it's been a blessing, especially creators. The ones that have been able to pull through the slump, they've finally been able to spend the time they want to make the art and put it out there. And I'm happy for my friends that have been able to do that. I just got done talking to one of my friends from Chicago. Shout out to Is Hobbs on Twitch and Facebook. He lost his good IT job, but because he had the free time, he was able to start streaming on Twitch. And now he's a part of a Twitch group, and he's able to stream full time and make some money off of it. So stories like that make me happy because there has been some good out of it at the very least for artists or entrepreneurs to finally get that kick in the ass we all need. Everyone talks shit like, well, if I had time, I'd make my own business work. Well, now you got time. I'm glad I've been able to see some of my friends finally take a step into that entrepreneur lane. I had another friend who had a whole life in Texas. She worked for a very good company. Company got shut down. She had to move back to her hometown in Michigan. She had kids. She was forced to figure it out. Good thing she's a hustler by nature. She was able to figure out something. She's a very good cook. People used to always ask her, what's her recipe? What's the seasoning she uses on her fried fish, fried chicken? And it dawned on her, people would ask her for it. So she started bagging it up. She looked into getting labels and packaging and started selling her seasoning. That took off. She wouldn't have done any of that if she was still working at her other job. She always wanted to do something like this, but she was kind of secure under that safety net, so she never ventured. She got comfortable with the money she was making, even though deep down she wanted to do this other stuff.
I had two friends who work essential jobs. The money's just not coming in for them. In a different spectrum of things, they want to do more with their lives. And then this pandemic has really shown them, like, there's no other time than now to do things. They just took that opportunity to start doing things that they love to do and thinking of different avenues to really work out and do things that they wouldn't have normally done if the pandemic hadn't happened.
Yeah.
One of my friends is really love to paint, really love to sell her like crafting, like she does like jewelry and stuff like that. She's now in that mindset to do that full time because what she's doing just ain't working right now.
Yeah. As creators or entrepreneurs, you finally have the time and you're forced to do something with that time.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of people are still going through that creative slump. I'm right there with them. There's times where I'm super inspired, and there's times where I just want to scratch my ass and smell my finger. Like, that's my weekend. Like, okay, still stinks. All right, maybe I should shower. But why? I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, my God.
I'm not
Don't
trying to
start
hook
that.
up with someone at a con like in last week's episode.
Refer to last week's episode about showering. You better get your butt in the shower.
For the people that have got past that pandemic slump, I congratulate you guys. So let's toast to that.
Toast.
Let's toast to the creators and the entrepreneurs that have kept going, because that shit's inspiring me to see my own friends pull through it. Because if they can do it, then I can do it, you know? So it's like,
Definitely.
just gotta keep my head up.
And I love seeing people do things that they didn't think that they could do before. I love that because they're so busy working their 9 to 5 where they don't think like, okay, I can start a business or I can focus on my art because oh no, that's like a weekend thing or that's just my side hustle. No, now people are taking advantage of those things that they do and love to do on top of that.
Yeah.
So cheers to that.
Cheers. Let's move forward to some personal anniversaries, just some certain dates that mean something to you. I guess I'll start. First and foremost, one of the most important dates that never leave my mind is the day my dad passed away. He was kind of my everything. He was my hero. Ever since I was a child, he's always, for the Avatar fans out there, he's been my Uncle Iroh, even though he's my dad. He's always dropped wisdom, and he's done everything that I believe a dad should do. He gave me goals when I didn't even have them, and he explained to me why. A lot of parents are like, you need to do good in school, but they never tell you why.
Right.
My dad was thorough. He was like, you need to do good in school because you need to get a scholarship. Why do you need a scholarship? Because I work at a factory that doesn't pay me shit. I barely make enough money to feed you kids. You need to get a scholarship so you can get a college education. Why do you need a college education? So you don't have to work a shit job like me to raise your family.
Right.
And then he even broke it down to like, I didn't swim across a river in Laos and get shot at for you to work a shitty ass job. You need to be the one to take the next generation of our family to greater heights. And he was always on that shit. Don't settle for the life we settled for. Even though our life is better now than it was back in Southeast Asia, it's not good enough. If I wanted you to get by, we would have just stayed in Southeast Asia. But we fled the country as refugees for this purpose. Throughout my life, he was always pushing me in a good way. He didn't make me, take violin lessons and shit like that.
Pointless things.
Also, because we couldn't afford it, but he didn't put me into programs that were stupid. He always took time to learn what my interests were. He knew I loved music and creation, so he was very supportive. I was surprised. He was the generic Asian parent who was just like, doctor or lawyer, doctor or lawyer. But when he learned I love music and writing, he supported it. He would always ask me, is there any kind of program I can put you in that will help you become a better musician or a writer? I used to listen to a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. And every time we'd be in the car, my dad would let me play whatever I wanted. I would play some vulgar ass shit. I'd be playing like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and like West Coast gangster music. But, my dad having a language barrier, he didn't know what bitches and hoes were.
It's just like, good job, son. Good job.
Yeah. He'd be very supportive. He's like, oh, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks? USA, A-OK. And he would just rock with it because my dad loved music too. That's where my passion for music came from. My dad was listening to anything from Kool and the Gang to Michael Jackson, things someone from that part of the world wouldn't listen to, but my dad loved that like funk and R&B.
Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah. I was just about to say, the story about that, but my dad loved Dolly Parton. He didn't care what she had to say. He sat me down one day. He's like, son, let me introduce you to Dolly Parton. And then he's like, look at these boobies. That's what he literally said. He's just like, she got great boobies.
Oh, God.
As a young lad. I was like, all right, Dad. But my dad listened to country music. I remember he had a Billy Ray Cyrus album in the car. And I was like, wow, Dad.
You know what an achy breaky heart is?
Yeah, exactly. My dad was the one that put me on Achy Breaky Heart.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he would also listen to traditional music from Thailand. He was just so broad about it. So that's where my eclectic taste in music comes from.
That's what he came here for,
Yeah. My dad was here to get it. He was here to get exposed to everything. Anyways, not to bring down the tone of the happiness, but the day he passed away, I remember it like it was yesterday. I'll save that whole story for another day. Here I am as a young kid. My real life hero is no longer here. My role model, my guide in life. I'm glad I took to heart a lot of things he said. And I was able to grow from that. Every year that his anniversary pops up, it always reminds me of everything he did for me to be able to do what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. If he never took the time to be the father he was, I probably wouldn't be shit today.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of my peers whose parents are the same age as my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And not to throw shade on their life and their Asian parents, but that family wasn't shit.
Mm-hmm.
I look at how all the kids grew up in that family and look at how their parents treated them. I look back and I'm just like, that's the shit my dad told me about.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was like, do more than what we did so you don't end up another statistic, another refugee family that's here living on welfare, that's here not doing shit with their life. I used to be sad on his anniversary, but I'm not anymore. I mean, I'm sad now. Like, I'm literally shedding a tear talking about this, but
It's because you love him.
yeah, it's more like a happy, proud tear, you know? What his anniversary means to me is just the pride of our family. It shows me what hard work and determination can do. I take the anniversary of my dad's passing to appreciate the opportunity that he's given me and the future of our family. Whew, hold on.
Drink to that.
Drink to my gangster ass dad swimming across a river. But that's probably the most important anniversary in my life.
Definitely.
No disrespect to relationships I had in the past, girlfriends. Yeah, I appreciate our anniversary, but in the grand scale,
This is it.
nothing will ever mean more than this. Okay, before I get too choked up. All right, let me throw it to Shana. Let me have another drink.
That was a lot.
I know I set you up for failure.
I know. There's no way I can top that.
That was kind of heavy. It's hard to follow that, but
that was a lot, and I know the story with your dad and everything, but damn. Damn. Let me take another drink before I start whatever I'm gonna say.
yeah.
I guess the most important anniversary of my life is when I moved out of my mom's house. My mom was a single parent. She raised me. She did what she could for me, but she was very sheltering. I'm an only child. I don't have siblings, so she had no one to really like bounce off things off of and compare people to. All she could compare me to were the hood rats outside that she would see and her peers and her friends' children who were just hooligans for no reason. It was hard growing up. It was hard having a mother who just always thought the worst of you all the time. And I'm not like a straight A student or anything like that. I was never that kind of person, but I was never bad either. I never did anything that bad. Never did drugs, never went out and like, had sex with random people. I wasn't that one. So
You weren't a hoe like me?
I wasn't a hoe, okay? Once upon a time, not long ago, I wasn't a hoe, okay? I was a good kid, but my mom could never really see that, and she just pretty much like took out her fake frustrations out on me because she couldn't. I feel like she wanted a kid like that. Like she wanted someone to discipline and like really like drill into, but that just wasn't me, and she just couldn't get her head around that. The day that I moved out was the day that I was just liberated.
Yeah.
I just felt free. I guess a lot of my introvert like tendencies comes from her because I never was allowed to go out anywhere. I was never allowed to have friends. I was never allowed to go out with said friends, should I ever have any. And I think that's where a lot of my introvert like tendencies come from because of that. And even when I did finally leave, I still kept those same like habits.
Yeah.
It's even worse now that I'm older, but like.
Before you move on, do you feel that your mom was kind of like taking out her frustrations on you based on the child she used to be? Because I hear that a lot about if parents were reckless, they expect their kids to be reckless or they're like super strict.
I didn't know this because she didn't tell me herself, of course. But her younger sister, told me how my mom was out in the clubs wearing these short, tiny little Band-Aid skirts before Band-Aid skirts were a thing. out in the cold because, I'm from Chicago. So she was out there in the
in
snow.
Chicago blizzards.
Oh, yeah. And she was just hoochie out there doing whatever she wanted to do.
Okay, so once upon a time, not long ago,
She was a hoe.
Your mom was a hoe. Damn.
Yeah. So
you heard it first. Shauna called her mom a hoe.
her little sister narked on her and told me what was going on, what was the deal with my mom, because she would remember she would be at like her room and like watching my mom get ready to go to the clubs because she was too young to go out with her at the time. And she would just be like, yeah, your mom would just go out in them little scandalous, tightest little outfits. And I would be there just imagining myself as a full grown woman, like dressing up like your mom. And like, Mom. So this is the reason why you be acting like that, because you were a hoe and you were going out and staying out at all times in the night. It makes sense.
Yeah. Why I asked that, because I was dating this girl in junior high. She was not a hoe by any means, but her mom thought she was one.
Yeah.
When I was dating her, her mom literally got my phone number, called me to meet up with her so she could have an in-person talk with me. The mom pretty much told me that she used to be a hoe back in the day, and she would run off in the woods with any guy.
What?
And not to make this story like dark, but she ran off in the woods with the wrong guy and she got raped.
Oh no.
While she was in high school, the guy heard from other people that she was a hoe and thought she was down.
Yeah.
The mom was just like, yeah, I did sleep with a couple guys in those same woods, but I didn't want to sleep with this guy. But he just kind of forced himself upon me.
Yeah.
And knowing how she was, she put those same fears into her daughter, and she thought her daughter was going to be the same way. And that shit has stuck with me, that this mom pulled me aside to tell me that. Like, first off, what kind of mom tells you, hey, I think my daughter's a hoe, so you need to be careful.
Yeah.
And then to tell me something so personal about herself. And I was like, I'm in 7th grade. I don't know what to feel about this. Sorry you got raped, but what am I supposed to do with this information?
You are different. You are different than a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what you got to do. You have to go out of your way to tell your daughter's boyfriend or love interest what the dealio is. It's like not everybody's wired the same way. So you have to, sometimes that's how you save your kids. All of these docuseries and all these like missing persons cases and stuff like that don't just, happen. You got to do whatever you got to do.
If she only knew that her mom pulled me aside. I've never told her.
Oh.
But yeah.
I'm sure now that you're older and that person might have kids herself, she might have a daughter, and you might want to tell her that just so that she's in that mindset, like, okay, because, your parents do that for a reason. So their kids can be prevented from any kind of like danger, and then their kids and so on and so forth you got to do something for your kids, because kids will do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're different, but a lot of kids are not like that. They are like just completely different and will do anything.
Oh, yeah. Though the mom knew I was different from the other boys that her daughter dated, she still didn't trust me, which she shouldn't. You should always be cautious of who your child brings in their life. This woman went as far as asking all the teachers about me.
Oh, wow.
She was like, so my daughter's dating this boy that's in your class, because for some reason that year just worked out that we had every class together for the whole year. So she was able to pick the teacher's brain on parent-teacher conferences. She's like, so my daughter's dating so-and-so. Can you tell me about him? And the teachers knew exactly where she was trying to go with it. And the teachers had my back. I will never forget this.
Nice.
Because they told me. They told me. One of the teachers was like, actually, yeah, we know your daughter's boyfriend. He is the top of the class. He gets straight A's. He's a great student. He's polite. He gets way better grades than your daughter does. And that was the common theme. He's honor roll. He's on the track team. Your daughter is a C- student. She should be lucky that such a smart boy wants to be with her.
Oh, damn.
So the teacher was throwing shade.
But before I continue with my story, Let's crack open another one of these champagne bottles because
no.
we're getting a little dry over here.
I know. We're getting
a little
dry.
So dusty.
I'm thirsty.
I'm dusty.
So your mom was super strict. It must have felt so good to finally move out. That's such a liberating moment when you finally leave your parents' house, regardless of if your parents were like shitty or not.
She wasn't a shitty mother.
Let me not point this towards my
I'm gonna look away.
expensive ass MacBook Pro. Cause that will ruin. Oh shit! God, every time I clench my butthole when that popped. I was like, ooh, ooh.
Here's your glass.
All right, I forgot where I put my glass because this champagne already started hitting.
I know, right? Seriously. Something about champagne will always make me a little bit more tipsy than anything else that I drink.
Because it's supposed to make you feel fancy.
I drink tequila, and that's supposed to be like the one that gets you like all fuzzy, but no, it's not that. It's champagne. Doesn't matter what kind of champagne. I'm just always fuzzy after this.
All right, let's toast to Shana's mom being a hoe back in the day.
Okay, you know what? Let's just put that information in this little tiny box, wrap it up with duct tape, throw it in the ocean as far as you can, and never talk about it again, okay?
Anyway, shout out Will Smith and Martin Lawrence for Bad Boys.
I love that movie so much. Let me start off by saying my mom was not as supportive as your dad was to you.
Yeah.
I was very artistic in school. And even by myself, like I love to draw, I love to paint. I was very creative. I love to make up stories. I was playing with my Barbie dolls and my Beanie Babies and making them clothes and everything. So she saw a lot of my artistic side way back when I was a toddler. It never left me. It's just stuck with me all through my high school years as well. My mom was not very supportive of it. She liked the fact that I was into it, but she wanted me to focus on math and science and things that I wasn't good at.
Yeah.
And, you know, naturally, that's what you're, I guess, supposed to do, quotation marks, with your kids. Like, you're supposed to instill in them, like, you know, the want and the interest of that kind of stuff, like school stuff. But I was never that one. I never wanted to even go to preschool. I always hated school. Always. I hated school.
Yeah.
Always. It's just, I don't know what it was about it. I have an authority issue on top of that, so I don't like when people tell me what to do and when to do things and how to do things. It's just a thing for me. It's a stigma that has been in my brain since I was a very young child.
Yeah.
It's just something that I never was ever drawn to.
Yeah.
I want to say, because I don't know for sure. I think I blocked this out of my memory for the longest time because I just didn't want to admit it. But I think it was because of my authority issue is why I wasn't good at math and science, because I just didn't try.
Yeah.
I didn't want to try.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? F you. I don't want to do this. Like, I would just be so totally average. I would do something that someone would tell me, but only to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what? I don't care about this. I don't want to know about it. Whatever. Just throw it away.
Yeah. Having authority issues is a very dangerous issue to have.
Yeah.
You could hire a personal trainer to help you get in shape. And he'd be like, all right, drop down, give me 10. No, I'm going to give you 5. Hire a tutor. All right, let me help you with the... No, I don't want to study. Bitch, you paid me to help you.
And I think that's why I don't pay people to do things for me, because it might be a waste of money. Because for me, my authority issue is so deep. It's so deep rooted inside me that I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. And I don't know what makes me like that. I can explain everything else in my life, but that, I don't know where I get that from. That bothers me sometimes because I'm like, why am I like this? Long story short, my mom was not like your dad. She never wanted me to just focus on art or just focus on the things that I like to do. She never cared to even ask me what kind of like clubs I was into, because then she would have to be the one to drive me to such clubs.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't even do it anyways. I just wanted to explain to you, without getting into like a lot of detail, just how sheltering she was.
Yeah.
I couldn't do things unless she wanted me to do them. My mom would go as far as, if I was too happy or too this or that, she would think that I was on drugs.
Yeah.
Or she would think that I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do. My mom went as far as having my teachers spy on me.
Yeah.
Seeing who I talked to, seeing what I did throughout the day. If you guys want to hear more about it, I have a ton of stories about why I am the way that I am and why I don't have a relationship with my mom as it is.
Yeah.
But she was just always just like that. And she was so controlling and just stuck in her way to the point where when it was time for me to move on and move out of her house, that was very liberating for me because finally I was done with her stigmas. I
Hmm.
was done with her
Hmm.
controlling ways, and I was just free to be who I was finally. And this is where I could tie in the anniversary thing, but like in that year, I learned and did so much stuff. I traveled the world. I wouldn't even say the world. I would just say I started traveling a lot more and started to like
Yeah.
dip my toes into new things just in that 1 year
But you
alone.
open your eyes to a whole new world.
Yeah. I was able to do things that I wasn't able to do underneath my mom's foot, you
Hmm.
know? And just in that 1 year alone, I made new friends. I put myself in the nerd and anime and cosplay community. I soaked everything up, and it wasn't until I moved out that I was able to do those things, and that's what made me who I am
Hmm.
today because I was just bursting at the seams. I'm like, just give me a moment, just give me an
Yeah.
opportunity to do this so I can just be who I want to be.
So moral of your story is if you used to be a hoe, you shouldn't have kids because you're gonna raise them wrong. No, just,
And I can't stress this enough. I don't know what made me that way. I don't know what saved me from being a statistic. I really don't. I think it was, I want to say it was my like interest in like the nerd
yeah.
culture and the cosplay culture. I don't know if that's enough to say that that's exactly the thing that saved me from everything because I was thrown into a lot of statistics.
I think what it is after hearing your stories, I think your control issue comes from your mom
Hmm.
just being overbearing
Yeah.
about it. Like my dad had his control moments, but the difference was there was reason behind every action.
Hmm.
Your mom was more like, do this because I told you to do this, or else. If you don't understand why you're doing something, then it doesn't make you want to do it.
Hmm.
You're not compelled to listen. You don't know why you should do it or what happens if you don't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I had everything against me.
Yeah.
I have an authority issue. My mom was controlling and I was like always trying to do the opposite, but I didn't go too far.
Yeah.
So pretty much my mom was controlling me for no reason. Like
Yeah.
she was controlling someone that wasn't out of control. That's what I'm saying. I really don't know what makes me like that to not go out of control, to not do those things. And I think whatever
Hmm.
higher being is out there that kept me out of trouble, but like I just wasn't interested. The anniversary of when I finally had a whole year away from my mom, I really thought about it. I'm like, I did a lot. I wasn't out of control. I
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't go party. I didn't drink. I didn't like smoke. I didn't do drugs and nothing like
Yeah.
that. But it was because I left my mom's like chokehold that
Yeah.
I was able to become the person that I am today. And
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful of that.
Uh-huh.
So, long story short, my favorite and most memorable anniversary is, in fact, when I moved away from my mom, my controlling mom, and realized who I really was. And let's drink to that.
Yo, I've been preaching that to my friends for so long. You don't understand life until you leave your parents'
Oh,
house.
yeah.
You don't experience certain things. I got a couple friends creeping up in age, finally just left their mom's house.
Hmm.
They're telling me things I've known for years.
Hmm.
Like, whoa, man, my life is so much better. Dude, I told you that so long ago. That's why some colleges require you to live on campus the first year or two. That's a part of growing up. You need to leave the nest.
Yeah.
I try to tell my friends that. I moved out of my mom's house as soon as I could. As soon as I became of age and I could sign a lease, I was out. I wasn't making shit at my part-time job. I was going to college, but I figured it out. I got a
Mhm.
roommate. My girlfriend at the time had a job. We said, screw it. We could pay for this. Let's go. And I kept trying to tell my other friends, stayed with their parents, tell they couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
One dude damn near got married and still wanted to stay home with his mom. And I was like, bro, you're about to get married and you still refuse to leave home? Well, my mom cooks for me. How's your wife gonna feel? But anyways, leaving home is a very liberating moment that I encourage everyone to do. I know it's expensive, it's hard, but you got to. That's like one of the steps of becoming an adult. Like you gotta leave home.
It's something that stuck with me as well. I don't know what made me think of this again, but like My mom had it set up to where I was pretty comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable in my mom's house.
Yeah.
But some things just outweighed others, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's just something that you as a person, you need to figure out for yourself, because honestly, like, you can have that, but without the pressures of your parents. Like, why would you even want to be around that? You know,
Mhm.
like, why would you even want your parents, like, lumbering over you and, like, telling you what to do and, like, saying how you need to clean your room?
Oh
Because,
yeah. It don't matter how grown you are. You live in your mom's house, mom runs the house.
That's their house.
Yeah. The friends I speak of were so under that umbrella. They're like, I'm not allowed to move out. Bro, you damn
Since
near
when?
30. You damn near 30. What are you talking about? You're not allowed to move out.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave yesterday if you wanted to. Not allowed to move out. But
People get stuck.
yeah, but I don't want to get into that too much because that's a whole nother rant that has been frustrating me for years. I love these dudes, but damn, grow the F up,
Yeah. Today. Today.
bitch. Can't even watch a rated R movie by yourself yet. Damn near
Your-
30 something.
Your mom got to give you the passcode.
I know.
Not in her house. Mm.
Got the child safety lock on your mama's Netflix. Move out. Embarrassed to call you my friend. Damn, that's harsh. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm
Let's
drinking this
tell it
Go-
like it is.
Nah, I'm drinking this Go champagne, no filters. Leave your mama's house.
Leave your mama's house. That should be a song.
Leave
your mama's house.
or you won't get a spouse.
Oh, leave your mama's house.
or you
Won't get
no
a spouse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, second verse. Leave your mama's house, or else you can't get in her blouse.
What?
Ain't no girl trying to hook up with you in your mama's house. Leave your mama's house, or else you ain't getting in her blouse.
Nobody likes a mama's boy on top of that. Like, if you already live in her house, but you getting coddled by her as well, come on.
Leave your mama's house, or you don't get no clout.
Oh, what?
I could just keep going on with this "Leave Your Mama's House" song. I'm
Bars.
sorry, like I'm on one now. Leave your mama's house because you on a sexual drought. All right, I'm
Sexual drought.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry. All these problems stem back to you not leaving your mama's house.
You don't want to hide your porn for that long. Oh, come on. My mom found every single one of my hiding spots for the shit that I wanted to do with my life without her supervision, you know what I mean? And she always would find I'm like, how? You spent time. Because I'm conniving myself. So I will find hiding spots. Like, leave your mama's house. She will find the spots.
My mom, she's retired now. She's bored as hell.
Yeah.
She has nothing to do
Same.
but to rearrange and look around the house. So she
And my
will
mom
find
had a
some-
job, a full-time job.
Mhm.
How the hell you find my stash?
Oh, mamas know, especially when your mama was a hoe. She know what she used to do.
I had loose floorboards. She's like, I found it. I'm like, how?
She's like, where you think I used to hide my shit, bitch?
Because she was a hoe.
Yeah, she's
Oh
like,
my God.
she was like, I was young in this house before. You forget I grew up
Lord.
in this house. That's my flobo, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Lord.
Oh Lord. Anyways, toast to
Leaving your mama's house.
Moving forward, I'm done disrespecting some of my homies that want to live in their mama's house. I mean, do you, boo boo?
Do you?
Do you, boo boo?
Do you?
If you want to try to smash your baby girl and your mom come in and give you advice, that's on you. No, baby, put more arch into it. Daddy used to do me like this. He used to put some gravy on the counter.
All right, that's enough.
Exactly.
That's enough.
Exactly. That is enough. That's enough for you to leave your mama's house. Okay, that was the last one. I'm sorry. That was the last one.
Somebody make this a song, please.
I'm about to make this song. It's going to be available on iTunes very soon. So
Please make it a meme or something.
be on the lookout for Leave Your Mama's House by Fan Service Renji. All right, let's move on.
Hey, for real this time.
For real this time. All right. All right, guys, this might be a 2-part episode, so let me end it right here. Hope you guys have enjoyed what we talked about so far. I know it's an anniversary episode talking about anniversaries. Make sure you follow us on social media. We'll see you guys next week for part 2. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
We'll see you guys next week.
Happy anniversary. Yeah.